Since I started this channel, I've never seen a category or group of people struggle in teaching like the Indians do. I'm talking about the average Indian. Here it's not just Indians in general, but people from around these areas as follows. Well, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and certain areas of Burma, South Asians, and the Maldives in general. I also get asked a lot of questions of these regions sometimes, and the problem is that we do shy away from discussing these things because if you want to talk about it, you will be labeled as racist or wherever. But I decided to give my unbiased opinion on this matter. I'm just let it be known that I don't have any preference toward any race, and I do not hate anyone. We're gonna look at evidence that we have at hand that this video will be divided into multiple parts. Part 1, Indian stereotypes and the media influence. Second part, ethnicity preference, facial attractiveness. If you're an Indian and you're already losing points because the Western world already have a negative image of Indians, now what do? I mean, Hollywood transforms Asian culture stereotype of a nerdy loser child with no game. Her only resulted in comedy to make others laugh so that they like him. K-pop dude who is attractive and touch his emotions with the hair, makeup, and all the other good things. The young girls seem to go crazy about what this raised the sexual market value of this Korean Asian male in the Western world. But this effect had not taken place for South Asian men. But for example, you're an American girl, the first thing that comes to her mind, her first impression. Just like the videos, when the interviewer asks what's your least favorite race, they seem to mention Indian. They say that they smell terrible, they have terrible body odor, they are unattractive, nerdy, hairy, unattractive, funny accent. They defecate all of these stereotypes on the street, sadly, to exist and are stuck in people's head, and Hollywood embraces some of these stereotypes as well. The majority of the time the Indians were presented on screen as nerdy losers and funny guys. As the explosion of a horn Facebook of Indian Pakistan guys, which he gave us Bob and Fagana memes back in the day. In 2018 to popularity with the War of the T-series and PewDiePie were the good old days where we can go back without even factoring in your height, income, or body. You are already receiving big fat blows from the media representation and meme culture. Next, we will look at how each race, including the Indians, performed in online dating and what races are actually most preferable. The first one comes from Yahoo, where the whole personal edition preferences studies are conducted to examine the dating preferences of online daters. 4 major New York metropolitan areas: Los Angeles, Chicago, and Atlanta. Internet profile of self-identified Asian, Black, Latino, and white men and women seeking the opposite sex dates were collected and coded from Yahoo Personals, which was the most popular national online dating websites from 2004 to 2005, and as usual, as we can see, white men got 58% acceptance rate for the second, Latino man at 31%, for blacks by 13%, Asians by 8%, in the Middle East at 6%, and, as you would expect, East Indians come last at an acceptance rate of only 5%. Next, we have another data showcase from data published on the dating site OkCupid by OkCupid shows that women generally have the highest probability of replying to white questions, men and the lowest probability of replying to Indian men. Similar to the plight of Southeast Asian Indian men, women were the least likely to reply to an Indian man of any race. Women showing that all races of women are eagerness to discriminate against Indian men, including especially women of the same race. And I also have another study that I covered in my channel last month that shows you how much money an ethnic man would have to date a woman of a certain ethnicity when we consider how much annual income needed by an Asian, a staggering $309,500 each year, just for them to have a chance when it comes to dating a white woman. When it comes to dating other races, it's simply not feasible. That's how bad they got it. So these are some graphs and data that shows how Asians, especially Indian men, do perform when it comes to white dating women. What about facial attractiveness? Then is there certain traits that make them unattractive? Well, I've been trying to gather a bunch of images of the average Indians or South Asians and maintain in my mind. I'm not saying that all Indians look like that. I'm just trying to find any comment or shared features. Please check this with a grain of salt. Is the first thing that I noticed in the eye area is that the all orbits are round and large. This could be the catalyst that resulted the larger eye shapes that in most cases look unattractive to men, but attractive to women. And we also notice either high amounts of upper or lower eyelid exposure that is unattractive. Also notice that in some cases that lower eyelids are droopy, resulting in an unattractive prey eye shape. Many say that Indian eyes are bugged and not depressed, but it's not that prevalent to the point where they should be considered. The next feature that stands out to me are the ears that stick out to where it's noticeable, and it drives all of the attention to it, which is another unattractive thing again that I noticed is the prominence of the lower set cheekbones and short faces, very compact mid faces far above the desired ratio of 1:1, which resulted in a short face, but not in the good way. Finally, this is the controversial one. The majority do not preference for dark brownish color in terms of attractiveness. However, we cannot express it because we will be labeled as racist. Gotten so bad that skin lightening creams are very popular in India and prevalent. So you can't really call others are racist when your own country's striving to change their own skin tone. What's my opinion on this whole thing? thing. I don't think the suffering of South Asians in the white Desi market. A survey gonna go anytime soon in terms of luck maxing. This will trigger some people, but your maxine goal should to distance yourself as much as possible, can fix your stereotypes from the stereotype accent, fashion, mannerism, and face-wise. However, I will not discuss it in this video until I find out how well this one goes received. The sorry guys, but what do you think? Let me know down in the comments section. Please keep the following it respectful. That's it for today's video. Hope you like it. Guys, liked it a lot and subscribed would be highly appreciated, and would like usual to catch you guys in the next one.